This lesson is on the apostrophe. There's only a couple of things that you need to remember to use an apostrophe correctly, but a lot of people forget to use them. There's only two ways to use an apostrophe. One is to make a contraction. A contraction is when you smash two words together, and then you remove a couple of letters from the middle of those two words, and then you use an apostrophe to take the place of the letters that you've taken out. And the other way to use an apostrophe is to show ownership, to say that something belongs to someone. So if it's the boy's hat, it's the hat that belongs to the boy. If it's Paul's bike, it's the bike that belongs to Paul. That apostrophe S is making it so that you don't have to say the whole, that's the bike that belongs to Paul. You can cut it down shorter and say, that's Paul's bike. So contractions. They smash two words together, and you replace the missing letters with an apostrophe. So words like cannot. We don't often say, I cannot do that. What we usually say is, I can't do it. And we're going to take out this extra N and this O, and we're going to replace it with an apostrophe. I will. We often say I'll. I'll go with you. And you take out the extra letters and you replace them with an apostrophe. These last two often cause a lot of confusion for people. So they are is a contraction. To make the contraction there, because there's homonyms, there's other words that sound exactly the same as that one, people mix them up all the time. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail about that in a minute. This one also causes so much confusion. I always see that, your, for you are. These are two different words that mean two different things. If you want the contraction for you are, you need the Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, because you're smashing two words together and you're taking some extra letters out and you're putting an apostrophe there. The other way to use an apostrophe is to show ownership. So if something belongs to something, you're going to use an apostrophe S. So the boy's toy. The boy owns that toy. What you want to do for this one to check to see if you need ownership in the sentence is make an of phrase. So it's the car of my brother. Well, now you know that it's of my brother. That's ownership. And when you want to say that, you can easily change that to my brother's car. A place that this gets confusing is when you've got a plural subject that is owning something. What you want to do in that situation is you want to make the subject plural first and then show ownership. So what you're going to do is first put the S on it. That's how you make something plural. So the kids' toys. This is more than one kid, and they have a whole bunch of toys. So you're going to make it plural first, and then you're going to put your apostrophe afterwards to show possession. But if it's one kid, if it's singular, it's going to be singular first, the kid, and then it's going to be possessive, apostrophe S, the kid's toy. That's one kid. So for your singular possessives, you've got boy, child's, one child's, woman's, one woman's. This one causes confusion as well as child because the words themselves, when they're plural, they don't become plural with an S. They become plural in a different way. So women is the plural of woman, right? So you're going to make it plural first and then possessive. You're not going to say woman's, right? Because that's not a word. You don't make woman plural by putting an S on it. You make it plural by putting an E in there. So you're going to make it plural first and then possessive. This is something that I see all the time in bathrooms, and it confuses me and it makes me a little bit upset. I always see the woman's room. I don't even know what that means. This is one woman, but now you've got it plural and possessive. It's not right. What you want on your bathroom is the women's room. It's for a bunch of women. So depending on how you make a word plural, some words you make plural differently than others. Some words you can make them plural by just adding S on them. Some words you make them plural by changing the core part of the word, as in women and children. Other words you add IES. If it's IES, so for this one, the singular is babies, baby apostrophe S. The plural possessive form would be babies with an IES apostrophe, as in this is more than one baby, and they're all owning something together. So this is the babies' blanket. That's a bunch of babies that have a bunch of blankets. And the last one to remember is that possessive pronouns, so these are pronouns, which are words that stand in for nouns, that show ownership as part of the way that they work. Possessive pronouns never have an apostrophe. So this is words like his, ours, hers, yours, its, and theirs. This is where most of the things get confusing, because if you think apostrophe means possession, it makes you want to put an apostrophe on those pronouns that are showing possession. But you need to remember that possessive pronouns, not a single one of them ever has an apostrophe with it. So here are some common mistakes that people make. Whose is a contraction for who is. So who is that knocking at my door? Whose is a possessive pronoun, saying that it belongs to someone. Whose shirt is this? That possessive pronoun is not going to have an apostrophe with it. Your is a contraction, right? So these ones are your contractions. Your is a contraction for you are. You are really nice. And your is a possessive pronoun, meaning belonging to you. I think it's your shirt. That shirt belongs to you. Another one is its, and its shows up all the time, causing a lot of confusion for people. IT apostrophe S is a contraction for it is. It's raining again. If you can say it is in the sentence, then the word that you need is IT apostrophe S. ITS with no apostrophe is a possessive pronoun, meaning that it belongs to it. Its hair was brown. The hair belonging to it was brown. If you can't say it is, then you need the IT with no apostrophe. So in this one, let's try to say it is. It is hair was brown. It doesn't work. If it doesn't work, then you need ITS with no apostrophe. Here's another one that also causes confusion sometimes. There is a contraction for they are. They're not very nice. They are not very nice. They're not very nice. There is a possessive pronoun, meaning belonging to them. That is their car. That's the car that belongs to them. The same thing with this one. You can't put they are in there, right? You can't say that is their they are car. So you don't need the contraction. You need the possessive pronoun there. So to recap, apostrophes function in two ways. They either are used to make contractions. That means you're smashing two words together, taking out a few letters and putting an apostrophe in the place. Or they're used to show ownership. It's sometimes confusing that those two things can kind of sound similar, but if you know those words that get confused, it can help you to avoid making those mistakes. And those mistakes can often be pretty stigmatizing.